Retro Jersey Podcast, tuning in. I'm my boy Larry S here today.
Yes, sir.
What's goody? How you feeling?
Man, I'm all good. I am all good. Ready to talk some sports talk.
It's Joe. I talked to you last night about LaMarcus Aldridge possibly getting a trade or a buyout for the San Antonio Spurs. He definitely won't be back with the Spurs. So, what are some possible places you'd like to see LaMarcus Aldridge added to?
Um, I'm gonna say Lakers first,
Mm-hmm.
of course, just because they need a big. Lamarcus might be the fit that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Because LeBron does like shooting bigs or bigs that can shoot. So I think he'll be like a perfect fit, like with LeBron and AD. And I think he would make them then maybe not favored, but really good chance of them winning another ring. In the addition of LaMarcus Aldridge. So I
Right.
like the Lakers. I think that would be a good place. Um, you were saying Portland. I didn't even think about Portland, but Portland would be really nice for LaMarcus. And Portland themselves just to be able to spread the floor a little bit more and give like one other not for sure scoring option, but somebody that's been known to be a scorer in the league. So I think him complimenting Damian Lillard would be crazy. I think they could see some real gains from that. And CJ, when is he coming back? Do we know when he's coming back?
I don't know, but I expect him to see him post All Star break. So I got to see if he's available in tonight's game. But I feel like he should be back pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah. So Portland would be nice. Lakers would be nice. And then was a I just had them on my brain. Um
Celtics.
No, not the Celtics would be good too, but they're a little fast paced, too fast paced for them. I don't think he'll be able to keep up with like the way that they play. Um the Heat. I think he would be really good on the Heat with like Bam and Jimmy Butler. I think he could if he like went to the Heat, I think that could make them very viable to compete with Brooklyn for a championship. So those are like my top three places: the Lakers, Portland, and the Heat. I would like to see him on the Lakers because I think that would just be the best spot for him, like to be successful and kind of be able to be LaMarcus Aldridge again. Or what shades of LaMarcus Aldridge we still have left of him. But I think the Lakers would be a his best option, but Portland and Miami are two really good options for him as well.
Yeah, I definitely am rooting for him to go to Portland and get reunited with Dame. 'Cause I think he knows that if he stayed in Portland the entire time, they probably would have at least gotten to the finals. Uh,
Yeah.
so I think he knows that. Going to San Antonio, I don't think it was the best option for him. And going back to Portland, I think would be really good in terms of getting them over that hump because that's all they've been missing is him leaving.
Yeah, no, for real. I like that. I like that.
And uh, I think that's really the only one that makes sense. Obviously, the Lakers might attempt to get him because the Lakers really need a lot. But I don't, it makes sense, and that's fine. But the best fit for him, I really do believe, would be Portland. Miami is,
Okay.
I think, as well. But I know Miami's in terms of like their conditioning and stuff might be extreme for him at this age that he's at. Uh,
True.
so I don't know if he's down to like test it for body fat once a week and stuff like that. but,
Yeah.
but yeah, I really like the Portland situation for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
does that make them Portland a title contender in your eyes?
Nah, still not title contention. I'm really it's
But
really hard for me to view Portland as like title contenders.
is it the
Like
market?
title you said what?
Is it the market or what? Like the
I,
market, small market?
not necessarily the market, but I think it's just like Dame is cold, but he's only 6'2". How many times have we heard somebody being 6'2", 6'3", like amazing, but that can't carry a franchise? Like that's
Step,
not gonna you said what?
step.
Yeah, that's true. But he also had the second great or the great one of the greatest shooters of all time
That's fair.
in Klay Thompson, and he also had defensive player of the year in Draymond Green.
That's fair.
Damian doesn't have that. He has CJ McCollum, but CJ is no Klay.
Mhm.
And then they don't have like that Draymond. So And then even going back to like AI, like AI he had a couple bigs, but at the same time, they weren't bigs that you needed that were going to get you to and win a championship. That's kind of where I see Damian Lillard. So I just can't ever be sold on them for some reason. Like I'll be trying to give them something, but I can't be sold on them to win a championship.
All right, so let's go to the list because I think they're comparable to Denver. Besides, obviously Denver has like a lot more pieces, but in terms of you having Dame, CJ, Robert Covington, which I think people sleep on, he's like the best version of a 3-and-D player in my opinion.
Of what?
A 3-and-D player.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Then you got who's that power forward? Damn.
Let's see. I'm checking right now.
But at center they have Jurkic, and then coming off the bench you got Carmelo Anthony off the bench. You got Gary Trent Jr. off the bench, Derek Jones Jr., which is a very good person off the bench. Enes Kanter. Like
and Nasir Little. I like Nasir Little a lot too.
And Anthony Simmons just won a dunk contest. I mean, you're not gonna be. It's somebody that can tag the basket, apparently. So it's like every person is somebody that you need in terms of a championship team. And it's like if they get LaMarcus at power forward, it's like they got every piece that they really need to be title contenders. Because when you think of title team, every player has to be there for a reason. Nobody on the team is just like, oh, I just got an easy ring. Like, no, everybody has to do something. And that's it. I feel like they're set up in that way.
So I'm not mad at that take, but and Portland does have a better record than Denver by one game, which isn't crazy. But when you look at that list and then you compare it to who Denver has, man, like Jamal Murray, Damian Lillard. You probably would take Damian Lillard, but Jamal Murray is not far behind. Would you agree with that?
In terms of playoff, yeah, he's not far behind because playoff he does end up, yeah.
Yeah, so not far behind. Gary Harris, who's he's no Robert Covington, but he's still a very solid player. Will Barton, I'm not really sold on him. He's kind of just a person out there, just a true role player. But you got Michael Porter Jr. coming off the bench for him. Now, Michael Porter Jr. I really like. I would take Michael Porter Jr. over Carmelo Anthony right now. But like that's as a player.
That's in terms of potential, I think, though. I agree with you. His ceiling is very high and he's a very interesting player. But in terms of like playoffs, I can't choose Michael Porter Jr. in the playoffs over Carmelo Anthony. I can't do that.
I feel that.
Potential.
I feel that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. And then you got Jokic. Like, I'll take Jokic over anybody on the Portland Trailblazers, including Damian Lillard. So I think Denver's a little bit better than Portland at this point. And it looks like they might even come together in playoffs and play each other first round, which would be kind of crazy to see.
That's too early. It's too early. Fuck. That's too early to play the.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
It's fuck. Yeah, that's hard.
Like that's what I'm saying. So it's like you in a 7-game series, I'm taking Denver over Portland right now. Even with LaMarcus Aldridge, like I think LaMarcus Aldridge is amazing, but I think he would be more or better suited to a team that's already contending for a championship rather than a team that's like on the come up contending for a championship. So I don't know. It's hard for me to get sold on Portland. Overall, I like them, but in terms of championships, nah, I don't see a championship, even if they do get LaMarcus Aldridge.
That's fair. Some other news that
that's where I'm at. But I like. You said what?
No, you can finish it up.
What'd you say?
You can finish it up.
No, I was just saying. Yeah, I was just saying I like Denver a little bit more than I like Portland. But I do understand that comparison. Like I'm not mad at that comparison at all.
Some other news that happened yesterday. Kyle Lowry, he will not be traded from the Raptors. That came out. He's there trying to have him play out this year, trying to get a deal for him to finish his career as a Raptor. Will it be a 4-year deal, 3-year deal, whatever? How do you feel about that for Kyle Lowry Because I know he's already won a championship. He's a Toronto Raptors legend. But it's kind of like I feel like Kyle, especially with the way the NBA is going, you can move around and be that piece. Not like Blake Griffin coming off the bench, but like you can be somebody's thing that they need to get to the next level, like a Bulls, like a Miami Heat, like a, you could be that next piece for another wave of championship runs. I don't I understand that I do like players sticking with their original team, but in this situation I don't because really Kyle Lowry was besides Kawhi Leonard, he's been a what like what are we assessing Kyle Lowry's career as?
Um, I guess just and like a good career with one ring. Like he's I mean he's been a solid player, for what the last like 6-7 years.
Yeah,
Um, pivotal like he hasn't not done him. He's had some playoff woes that like made him look a little worse. But I do get what you're saying about him being able to go to another team and like be that starting point guard that'll lead them to a championship. Because he absolutely can do that. But I also understand him just saying, all right, cool, like I'm gonna just rock it out here. I don't see Toronto winning another championship anytime soon, but we didn't see them winning a championship before Kawhi got there. Like I know DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry were very high, but they always had to face LeBron, and we knew what LeBron would do to them. It
yeah,
was never sweet when the Raptors played LeBron. So like their only ring came when Kawhi came. And like before that and since then, they haven't really been like expected to win a championship. I guess they were when with DeMar and Kyle Lowry, but again, I didn't chalk that up because I knew they had to play LeBron, and I know what LeBron can do to them. So I get it. He might just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just rock it out here. I got my ring. I'm getting paid here. I love it here. So sometimes people's goal isn't to win a championship every time. He might just be past that. Like, I don't really care about winning another ring or anything. Like, I'm gonna just play it out here and be number one option on the team. Um, that's probably what he likes. So it's like he's getting paid, number one option on the team. He got the green light. Like,
yeah.
that's okay for some people. Now, I think I'm with you. He should have thought about going to a place where he could compete for a championship, but that's probably not his goal right now.
Yeah,
Ever again. He's probably already reached his goal of cool, I got a ring this 1 year and then calling it. So that's
yeah.
interesting though. I'm surprised Toronto was about that, but I guess I respect that because they're like honoring, somebody that's given so much to them. So I'm not mad at him, but he definitely could have made moves to win a championship. There are a lot of open teams that if he goes to, that could be the difference between championship or not.
I guess
Um,
for me, I have high hopes that he would come to the Bulls. I guess
mm,
that's where my frustration came from because
okay.
Kyle Lowry with Zach LaVine, Larry Markkinen, and hopefully we get a big man at the trade deadline. That's in the East. That's enough to get at least a second round, possibly conference finals.
Yeah, and the Bulls are they're a good team. Like you were telling me, I didn't realize that stat. Like the games that they lost, they only lost by like 4 or 5 points,
Yeah,
which is really something to be said. And a couple of those games they were up, like they
hmm
were up by a nice little bunch. So Bulls would have been nice. Him and Zach would have been crazy together, I think.
yeah. Um, but I get it though. It's good they're doing right by him. Another rumor in terms of the trade deadline is the Celtics are aggressively pursuing Harrison Barnes to add to the team.
Aggressively,
Aggressively. That's
imagine.
that's what they want. Harrison Barnes. And the Celtics are in an interesting position because they're kind of like in a limbo state as far as like they've gone to the conference championship 3 years in a row now. They came up short.
Was it last year they made it to the?
They
Oh,
lost
they played the Heat.
they lost to the Heat, and the year before that they lost to the um damn, I just drew a blank. But they've been in a
Oh,
conference championship, I think, at least 3 of the last 4 years for sure. Because I remember they lost to LeBron in that conference championship. Um, the Kyrie year, they didn't make it to the conference championship. The Isaiah Thomas year, they made it to the conference championship against the Cavaliers and got swept. And then last year, they made a conference championship against the Heat and lost. So it's like,
yeah.
if they're in a weird spot because you're in a spot where you want to take a step forward, but you can't. So anything less than that is kind of seen as like a fall off, you know? And I don't know if Harrison Barnes is the piece that you need is going to make you not fall off.
I'll say this: Harrison Barnes is not the piece that that you need to push forward. Like, not at all. They need a big. Like, you can't have Tristan Thompson starting as at your center and thinking that you're gonna go far. So forget Harrison Barnes. Like, you already got too many dudes that can be better Harrison Barnes. Like, you don't need a Harrison Barnes. They need to get a center and somebody that they can actually rely on. I don't know why they don't trust Taco Fall. Like, I know I'm not in the rooms and in the practices with Taco Fall, but I think they need to give him some tick.
Taco Fall, I feel you because he does have talent, but IQ wise, basketball IQ, that dude been making all the wrong plays.
Okay.
Sorry, he all the wrong plays. He don't roll on the picks. He just look lost sometimes. A lot of three in the key calls and stuff, and it's like, he's not ready yet. Manu Bowl, not Manu Bowl. What's his son?
Bobo.
Bobo. He's a lot more skilled and he should deserve more tick. But Taco Fall is like, nah, he's not ready. He's not ready.
Okay. Well, yeah, they need a big man. They need a true center that can actually, like Tristan Thompson. Yes, he can grab boards, but sometimes he doesn't. Like, sometimes he'll get 4 rebounds in a game, like as a starting center, which is ridiculous. That can't happen. So I think they need a big man. They don't need to be pursuing Harrison Barnes. That's kind of crazy that's even on their agenda right now. Like,
One person or two people that I think they should go after aggressively with the same way they went after Harrison Barnes, which I don't understand. Kevin Love should
I
be
like that.
high on their list. And I know they need scoring, but even if you get somebody as a center who can't score, Hassan Whiteside.
I was
Hassan
about to say,
Whiteside is on the market. Like, you need players like that are one can score like Kevin Love or that are a legit force at the paint because Hassan Whiteside led the league in blocks off the bench last year.
exactly.
So
Like, if they get Hassan, like that lineup is disgusting. Like, that might be number 1 defense in the playoffs type lineup.
mhm,
Because they'll lock stuff down.
mhm.
And yeah, so I'm with you. I like Kevin Love too. But I would much rather see them with Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah.
Just somebody that is a pure center, pure paint defender that can actually lock it up and get boards and get the ball out in transition. Um, that's all they need, really. Like, they're not far from a championship aspirations, in my opinion. They're literally one big man away, and it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't even have to be like an all-star big man. They're like just a true big away from contending for a championship.
Yeah.
I like Kevin Love though. Is he like a free agent? Is he going to be a free agent or what?
No, Kevin Love got 2 years left and $90 million owed to him.
Wow.
So the only thing that they can get Kevin Love out of Cleveland, honestly, is a buyout. And if I'm Cleveland, that's why he's been there for so long, because it's like, I'm not trying to just pay this money and not get anything back. That's
Yeah.
$1 million. So
Yo, so can we talk about how ridiculous it was when they gave him that contract after LeBron James left?
okay, well, we gotta okay, so we gotta go backwards. So when they gave him that contract when LeBron left, if they didn't give him that contract and he leaves, how does Cleveland? I think it was the only move that they can make because one, you're not going to get any free agents that go to Cleveland, so you kind of have to hold on to your big names, unfortunately. So I
Yeah.
feel you, but if there's no Kevin Love there, Cleveland is just in the wind as some weird team. Like, what happened to Cleveland? Like, you need somebody that can sell jerseys. Like, jerseys, bro.
I now now I do get that. Like I understand them needing to hold on to Kevin Love by any means just to have some namesake in there.
Yeah,
Now, is Kevin Love a how many wasn't like 4 years, 100 something?
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was too much.
And that's my thing. Like, what's more important? You selling jerseys and halfway selling out your stadium, but still paying somebody not 100 something million that's not giving you any return. Kevin Love has given them no return on that
But
contract that he signed.
can you name any team that doesn't have a person that can sell jerseys for? You have to have
Um,
at least one star on the team. If you don't, you're going into some scary areas where you might get fired. So
that's
every
true.
team has somebody that they can sell jersey.
I guess you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't in this situation.
Yeah,
But man, you can't get that to Kevin Love. Like I understand he your franchise. Like think about that. Kevin Love is your franchise player right now.
maybe they thought that he was going to return to the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Love, in terms of like it's your number one option again. And not for nothing. When he was playing healthy last year, he was averaging like 20 and 9.
He was doing decent.
It's not going to be
And I
win.
get that, but one LeBron changed who he was altogether. Like he would never ever be able to go back to that Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love. He got smaller. Like LeBron had him working on his calisthenics and shit. Like had him losing weight. Like he was never gonna be that. So I think they kind of messed themselves up in that sense. But I get it. Like you got to have some name. But at the same time, if the name that you got isn't contributing to any wins, really, is it really worth 150 million? I'm gonna just put that number out there. I don't know if that was his contract for sure, but it seems like it would be like 4 years, 150 million for Kevin Love at this age in his career. Nah, and then you're not gonna be able to trade him. Nobody's picking up
That's
that
the
contract.
that's the problem. He's been there for a year and a half. People try to get him, but it's like I'm not trading you anybody of value for Kevin Love. That contract is too big, and you're not gonna get that type of value back in a contract size unless you like have like Russell Westbrook or something. But it's just like
Yeah,
and then I don't want to buy you out and then you leave. I'm not gonna pay you $90 million to leave. Like, no, you're just gonna have to
yeah,
sit on the bench.
yeah. Did they have Andre Drummond?
They have him too.
But I'm saying, did they have him? They didn't
Like,
have him when they signed Kevin to that extension.
they traded for him. What was that last year? They traded for him.
Yeah, man, I feel that. I guess I wouldn't have signed Kevin Love to that contract. Especially maybe not even 4 years. Fine, 2 years, 2 years.
I'm not signing a 2 year deal in Cleveland. You better pay me all the money or none of it. I'm not signing 2 years. No, I'm not.
That's what I would have offered him. I'd be like, gee, like I got 2 years for you. Here go 82 million. Like, come on, just take this and be on your way because you've met yourself up for how many years now? 4 years? Like, so I don't know. It's tough. I wouldn't have re-signed Kevin Love, but I get it. They had to do it to sell some jerseys, but nah, not Kevin. Not Kevin Love.
Real quick, let's revisit Kevin Love before he got to the Cavaliers.
Boss.
He Now this, I'm gonna tie this back. I'm not trying to be annoying. I'm gonna tie this back to the conversation we had yesterday. Kevin Love going to join with LeBron James to win a ring was great for his career. But how does it change the way that you view Kevin Love? Because now he's this because he changed his game and he went to a team to win a ring for his career.
I don't. So my and people probably gonna hate me for this, but I blame that more so on LeBron. Um,
Wow.
for how Kevin, because of what LeBron commanded Kevin Love to do. LeBron completely changed Kevin Love from what he was.
Are we saying LeBron changed him or Kevin Love changed so he could fit with LeBron?
LeBron changed him.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at how many people have had to change the way that they play to play with LeBron James.
Yeah, they've changed the way they play to play with him. I don't think LeBron changes you, say you need to change this. I think if you want to win a ring with LeBron James, you come with the intention that I'm going to change. I think he went there knowing he was going to be the third option behind Kyrie and LeBron. And he's like, okay, in order for me to get shots, I got to be a shooter because LeBron loves shooters, as we all know. So I think that was more so his mindset going to Cleveland. or getting traded for to go to Cleveland, more so than LeBron telling you that you have to change your way to play.
I mean, LeBron's not gonna tell you like straight up, like, yo, you got to change your way. But the way that LeBron plays, and he is the franchise player, that's forcing you to change the way that you play.
That's fair.
Um, for you to get the shots that you can get with LeBron, you have to like he's forcing you to adapt to that.
But when it's all
And
said,
that took Kevin Love, remember, was a 25-15 dude in Minnesota.
sure,
Efficient 25 and 15. When he came,
you
you
can't
said
bring
what?
you can't bring a LeBron when we're talking about Kevin Love's legacy, though. You can't. Well, it was LeBron. No,
Yeah.
this like Blake Griffin when he goes to New Jersey, to Brooklyn. If he changes his game to a way that he never comes back from, we can't blame that on KD, Kyrie, and James. Blake, you went there trying to get a ring, and yes, it's great for your career, but it's going to change the way your career goes. And I think that's kind of the same thing you saw with Kevin Love. It's like, yes, you got a ring, and you probably would have never got a ring before, so this is great for you in your career. But we kind of don't look at you in that same light as we used to.
Yeah. But again, like with Blake, it's different because none of those dudes are LeBron James. Like one LeBron James is you said what?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give you that. As much as I hate to say it, none of those dudes are LeBron. Like LeBron one is a unicorn in the sense that like he's one the primary ball handler, primary offensive initiator. And the way that he plays is back when he's in Cleveland, it was like get to the lane and kick out.
Right.
So Kevin Love no longer could be that post presence that he once was. He was forced to change into a spot up shooter. Kevin Love, his first year in Cleveland was a little sketchy because he was still trying to be that Kevin Love from Minnesota, but it's like, nah, like Bron won't let you be that because you can't, the way that LeBron plays. And then once he started becoming a spot up shooter, that's when he wasn't Kevin Love anymore. I remember seeing games where in the second year that Kevin came to Cleveland, he didn't get a chance to post up not one time. Like, and so that's completely omitting one of the best parts of his game, including his rebounds, because he had to stay on the perimeter so much. He wasn't able to get those offensive rebounds. He wasn't able to get in the post and really work the body down there. Sure. Now, I do chalk that up to also just the league changing in itself, like becoming more of a 3.3 and layup league or 3 and dunk league rather than anything else. So that has some parts to play in it too. But I definitely think just playing with LeBron, like you're forced to change what you're best at. And that's not a knock on either one of them. That's just the greatness of who LeBron is. Because like when you see like change it to this, I might be able to get you a ring. So it's kind of like which is more important, kind of being the best at what you are or fitting into the team to win a championship. So that's what I think Kevin did. When it comes to Blake Griffin, I don't think his game one has already changed from when he was in Clippers to in Detroit. He doesn't even dunk anymore like that. He's really more so a mid-range and three-point shooter at this point in his career. And I think that'll do it. Like he'll do well in the Brooklyn Nets because of that. If he was just that same kind of inside dunker dude that he was in Clippers, I don't know how well that will work in Brooklyn. So it's gonna be interesting. But I don't like that the Cavaliers have that $90 million still looming over for the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's
Kevin Love. If this was Kevin Love in Minnesota, absolutely. That was one of my boys when he was in Minnesota, but not now. Not now at all.
Real quick on Kevin Love, Hall of Famer? Not first ballot. We're just saying Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. See, how is we going first ballot or nothing? Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He got a ring. His years in Minnesota were monster. Like only very few people have like the kind of stats that he was putting up in Minnesota. So yeah, he's Hall of Famer. I don't know about first ballot, maybe not even second, but he's definitely third ballot at the least.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking about yesterday. So obviously we're thinking of a Lakers Nets possibility of a finals, or just the Nets possibly winning the finals. So KD wins the final. Cool. Where are we? Because in my opinion, KD joined the Warriors to get a championship. I didn't
Yeah,
really respect it. I think this is well documented. So cool. He went to the Nets with Kyrie. I was like, if he wins there, he got my respect. That's changing because everybody is there again. So James Harden might win MVP this year.
that's not on him though.
Cool, but James Harden might win MVP. It could be debatable about who wins Finals MVP. Honestly, even though I know Kevin Durant's going to ball his ass off, that's not even in question. But it's debatable who might win Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Who's going to take those last shots? Who's going to believe? These are all things that could possibly change. So my thing is LeBron still ahead of KD if KD wins? Because in my eyes, KD is still behind LeBron as far as him doing it.
So I agree with what you're saying. Like as much as I want to put KD over LeBron, I can't. LeBron's tenure speaks for itself. What I will say though, when LeBron and KD faced up, now I know he was going up against the Juggernaut Warriors, one of the greatest teams ever assembled. KD put foots in Bron. Um, KD went crazy on Bron multiple times. And it wasn't like KD was taking a back seat or a secondary role. He was damn near the primary reason as to why Golden State won their championships, in my opinion. Now, of course, he had to help.
I'll say this just to assist in your argument as well. KD is one of the most skilled, deadliest player that I've seen since Jordan. Maybe Kobe right there, but like since Jordan. So I would say, in terms of like the best player, I would probably say KD as far as skill wise, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
He can shoot from anywhere. So that's not. I would never debate him being able to shoot over LeBron or like all that stuff is valid. My more so thinking is like ranking wise, as far as like I can't rank KD over LeBron in terms of NBA career because KD has gotten so much help along the way.
I
Like
feel
even
that.
okay, see, you had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, so you had like great teams all the time. I've never seen him with all of his skills be that guy and it be his team. And that's weird to me.
I feel that. So I get that. I guess that also comes down to one, LeBron is the type of player that can carry a team in so many different aspects of the team. Defense, point guard, rebounding. Like LeBron can do all that. So that's why LeBron is able to kind of carry a team in a different way. And he doesn't need, not even necessarily need, but he hasn't gotten the help that KD has had, of course, because one, LeBron can do it all. It's almost counterproductive to give LeBron
Help.
the type of help that KD has had, because of what LeBron can do as a player. So I it's tough because I don't look at KD as a all around talent. I just look at him as one of the most not dominant, but one of the best shooters of all time and one of the most skilled offensive players because he can shoot from anywhere at what, a 10-foot arc or something like that. And like that's nasty. So that's what I'm looking at him as an assassin. So you get that assassin on teams, whereas LeBron is just like the whole kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I don't know if I can put KD over LeBron just because LeBron can do everything and has been asked to do everything. But I can't put KD so far behind him that it's like he's not there.
I wouldn't do that. But so who would you start your franchise with if you had to do a fantasy draft? You got number one pick. You're choosing KD and LeBron are on the board. And now we're not saying like at this point because obviously KD's younger and stuff. But
peaks. We talking about peaks.
Yeah, peaks. Who are you choosing?
I gotta take KD.
What peak year are you basing this off of?
Peak KD?
Yeah, what's your peak KD?
MVP year when he won And okay, either that one or the second championship in Golden State.
Okay.
Um, LeBron, I mean, it's just so many different peaks for LeBron. Like you got Miami Heat LeBron.
I'll go Miami Heat LeBron in his last year in Cleveland. His last
Okay.
year in Cleveland's in all those buzzer beaters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the best LeBron I've ever seen.
Yeah. So even with that, I got to give it to KD just because of the pieces that I'd be putting around him. Whereas LeBron, it's a lot of you got LeBron, so you have like you have everything that you really need
Yeah,
in one player. And it's harder to fit pieces around LeBron, in my opinion, and keep those same pieces happy.
true.
Whereas with KD, I could fit so many different pieces in with KD, and that won't affect KD at all. Like KD will still be able to do everything that he needs to do. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say KD. I'm gonna have to say KD.
That's fair. I'm not mad at that. I was thinking about this the other day because in our Trey Young debates and stuff like that. Uh, so obviously GMs have different mindsets on how they want their teams to be created. Like it's so many different playing styles and all those things.
Yeah.
So if you were a GM, what would be your ideal lineup? So I'll start mine so you see where I'm going. So at point guard, I want a tall, like at least 6'5" point guard.
Okay.
A person that even if they can't give me a lot of points, they can lock up the other point guard.
Yeah.
Shooting guard, I need a dual shooting guard, somebody that can play point guard and shooting guard. Also
Okay.
around 6'5", 6'6", somebody like a Zach LaVine who can. He's fine playing point guard. You know, you might be
Yeah.
able to play him that. At the three, ideally 3 and D, like a 6'8", 6'9" lanky player whose bread and butter is hitting open threes and can D up the other person's small forward, whether it be Giannis or whatever.
Okay.
At four, I like to undersize center at four.
Mm.
Somebody that can play big but doesn't have to, and is very very skilled. So I love PJ Tucker in that essence because
Yeah.
that's ideal. Somebody that's skilled at that position who can hold their own, but it's a little bit undersized and can
Yeah.
run the floor. Even Anthony Davis because he can play five, but he chooses to play four.
Yeah.
And then at center, I need 7 feet, tall, athletic, can catch oops, can run up and down the floor on a fast break. I don't want anybody slogging behind. I need you potentially in a 3-on-1 fast break. You got to be right there. Uh,
Okay.
that's my ideal.
Okay.
You know.
So for me, I starting at point guard, I want a pure point guard. I do feel the 6'5", but I don't really care about the height, more so a pure playmaker. Somebody that doesn't need to put the ball in the hoop to be happy with their game. Like somebody that can have like 7 points, but like 12 assists and
Okay.
be like, all right, cool, I had an amazing game. Like somebody like that. And that can, somewhat D up, but I don't need him to be a lockdown, but be able to, play some defense and do that and like command the offense. So I don't need my point guard to be a scorer or anything like that. My shooting guard, I want a pure scorer at my shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
Defense would be nice if they played a little defense, but a pure scorer, somebody that you get the ball to, they'll get you points, like a D Wade on offense almost, or like I don't want to say Kobe because of course Kobe, but like somebody like that can just get you those points. With the small forward, I'm with you. Somebody that can shoot the three, and just D up. So I like a 6'8", kind of 6'9"
Right.
type small forward. And my shooting guard, I would like to have like a 6'7", like a more oversized shooting guard as well.
Okay.
That's just like a pure score, get the ball in the bucket from inside the paint, 3-point, whatever needs to happen.
Right.
My four, now I like a grounded four, a four that can almost like a Zach Randolph four, one that will play the post. He may not be the most athletic, may not be the fastest, but he'll post up. He'll be that presence, that kind of dirty presence in the paint. Just somebody that can also has a little bit of a midi. He doesn't need a three, but mainly inside, just a true four, like a pure four. And then big man, I need oversized. I need like a 7'2", 7'3", somebody that is just a pure paint presence. somebody that's physical, like a strong kind of 7 footer or up. And somebody that doesn't mind getting dirty. Like I want my bigs to be a little dirty. I want them to be a little grimy. Because I want to bring that type of energy to the court. And we might not be the best defensive team, but I would be okay with it being like a top 8 defensive team in the league, like something in that kind of range. Yeah, so that'd be my 5. Something like that.
Because I'm on my defensive shit hard. I don't
Yeah,
like that shit. So
everybody playing defense.
yeah, on my team, everybody got to play defense. Everybody got to be quick. Like we got to get to it, well conditioned. Like defense is so big to me. I think that's why me and you differ on Trae Young, because I would, as many points in how gifted Trae Young is and how he really is like the next Steph Curry. I've always hated Steph Curry because I need a point guard that's not a liability on defense. I would never draft a point guard who can give me 30 but give up 25. I wouldn't be happy with that.
I feel that. No, I feel that.
So yeah.
And I think with me, like I like the defense, but for my 1 and my 2, I make like playmaking and offensive ability more important as a priority, and just feel the defensive role on the bigs, like the 4, the 3, 4, and the 5. Those will be my defensive guys. Whereas the 1 and 2 options or the number 2 option is really primary score, and then the second option could even be like the 4. So my power forward would be like option number 2 to score, and then the rest kind of fizzle out from there.
What's interesting about that is OJ Mayo would have worked perfectly on the Grizzlies if in that grit and grind Grizzlies, because that's all they needed was a number 2 pure scorer, because everything else was taken care of. I'm not sure if he was able to do that. I don't remember OJ Mayo's tenure with the Grizzlies so much.
His first year, he was actually like, he was the highest scoring rookie, right above Derrick Rose. I think he was averaging like 18.6, and Derrick Rose was at like 17, I think 17.3 or something like that. And I think it was like 3 assists or something, like nothing major, but his scoring was efficient. He was shooting at a 45 clip from the field and like a 39 or 40 from the 3. So it wasn't like he was like bums or anything like that. Like he was balling, but it went down the next year. And then the third year, he was down to like 15 or something like that. And then got, shipped off to Milwaukee or wherever he went. But yeah, that was that. And that's why I think I really liked that team, was because you had Michael Conley, who was that like point guard that could facilitate the offense, kind of, playmaking the way that he needs to. You had OJ Mayo, who pure scorer. He played defense, but it wasn't anything major. But he can go out and get you 40 or 30 on any given night. Somebody that could play inside the paint and shoot. They had Rudy Gay, who was like that. Almost, I don't want to call him a 3-and-D guy because he could play inside the paint as well, but he was kind of like that athletic kind of wing player. You had Zebo, who was we know what Zebo was in the paint and like in post up and all that, like, and he was a gritty dude. And then you had Marc Gasol, who won Defensive Player of the Year, and the Defensive Player of the Year running a couple of times in Memphis. So that was like the perfect team. That's kind of like the team that I'm thinking about, because it is like grit and grind. So yeah, I didn't even think about. That's crazy that you brought that up, because that's pretty much the team I just said.
Yeah,
okay.
That's like that team.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Let's say the last question we'll get into. This was on Twitter last night. It's an interesting debate. James Harden, Dwayne Wade. Who, if you had to draft one player and had the same, like, who would you choose?
So this is when you told me this, I went to sleep thinking about this question. So, man, I gotta take Wade, just because of what he's gonna give me overall, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Where James Harden lacks is a defensive end, but his offense almost makes up for that to a certain extent. Of course, not all the way, but to a certain extent. But in terms of starting a franchise, man, I don't see as much diva in Wade as I see in James Harden.
That's
Not
fair.
that James Harden is even a diva, but I could see something unsettling him to the point where it could cause rocky relations. Just throughout running a basketball team, like there'll be moments where it's like this could tick somebody off or something. Um, and I don't know, Wade. I'm just it's politically correct to say James Harden. Like I'm not mad at
It's
no.
politically correct to say Dwayne Wade.
Oh, really?
3 championship rings, uh, won a championship in his third year in the NBA, Olympic gold medalist, all those things. I would personally, if I had to pick a team and not go, I would pick James Harden, only because James Harden has never missed the playoffs. James Harden will play on different style teams, different players. Has always been in the playoffs. Has always been consistent. The reason why I was so hard on D Wade, especially when it came to the Chicago Bulls, is because D Wade injury problems, can't shoot, and I've personally seen him take off his seasons because the team was bad.
Yeah,
So
I
it's like
feel that.
I that's always left a bad taste in my mouth. If your team is bad, you got to play out the season, bro. I
Yeah,
don't
just play it. Play through it. Play through it.
have an ankle injury, be like, oh, I'm out for the season. Remember you tried that with the Bulls because we thought he was gonna miss the playoffs and he was out for the season. He was
Oh,
in the playoffs and he played.
did
And I
he
was like,
came
oh,
back? Yeah, he came back.
yeah. I was like, how?
Yeah,
So yeah, I would personally pick James Harden just because he's consistent. You know exactly what you're gonna get every single year, and he's gonna have a long career. D Wade would still be playing right now if he ever developed a jump shot.
that's true. That is very true. He never did. And even without being able to develop a jump shot, he still was able to get his. But him having a jump shot would have made his career even better. So I didn't know that they were saying that the that James Harden or D Wade was a politically correct. But now that I look at it, I guess it is true because he had the 3 rings, Olympics, and all that. But I guess I was calling James politically correct just because of all that James Harden can do.
Right.
Like run an offense, at the 1 or the 2,
Right.
and kind of be comfortable in that. So that's interesting. Well, I guess I'm with the masses on in terms of Wade. I still would take Wade, even knowing all that James Harden can do.
That's fair.
And I think I would have a better time getting pieces around Wade than I would James Harden. Even though James is kind of proving that it doesn't matter who's around him.
Yeah.
I think I would just have more fun with Wade though. I think that's what it is.
That's fair.
So yeah. James Harden. There was another or Wade, but there was another question on Twitter talking about who will win in a 2v2, Larry Bird and Magic or LeBron and KD. Who you taking it on?
LeBron and KD. I don't respect Magic Johnson at all. You already know that.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't respect that boy at all. Nah. So
okay, so LeBron Magic, okay, or LeBron KD, yeah. I mean, I guess you got to take. I love Magic, I love Larry, but it is KD and
Magic overrated.
No, not at all. I know you do. I don't think so at all. No, not Magic. He's still top 5 player of all time to me. I put him above LeBron.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I put Magic over LeBron.
So you respect somebody being 6'9" as a point guard in the 80s?
Yes, I do. He couldn't justify what size he was gonna be.
You shouldn't be playing point guard at 6'9", bro.
But he did it. Like it was nasty.
That's like playing against kids, bro. What are you doing? And you can't shoot. Like, we won't respect that. Like, of course, you don't get to the basket 3 times. You're 6'9". Like
he don't gotta shoot. Imagine Magic now. Magic could be disgusting now. As a point guard, he would be nasty.
He Ben Simmons.
Better though. Ben got vision, but not like Magic. Ben has creativity, not like Magic.
He's elevated Ben Simmons, Magic Johnson.
But you can't even put them in the same breath though.
Why not?
Magic and Ben Simmons, you can't put them in the same breath.
Why not?
Magic or Ben Simmons is
they
nowhere.
They both only can pass and are great passers and are 6'9" playing point guard.
Not only can, firstly, Magic could also do other things than only pass. He was a great driver of the basketball.
Because he's 6'9", and so is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a great driver on 6'2" point guards for sure.
I mean, I feel that. Like, Yeah, I mean, I get the comparison of Ben Simmons to Magic, but they're still in two different leagues of who they were.
It's like
Um,
gold is Magic Johnson, and like silver or bronze is Ben Simmons. Okay,
bronze.
bronze is Ben Simmons, but that's the ilk. That's the cloth they cut from.
Yo, I mean, but I dig it. And I dig it. Magic was just, he's an amazing point guard. Amazing. He was 6'9", but he's an amazing point guard. So hold on, with that one, what about LeBron and KD versus Michael and Kobe? Ooh,
LeBron and KD are very
large.
large. That's
They're
the problem.
big.
That's the problem.
But that is Mike and Kobe.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I would pick them. Because any other reason for them being both near damn near 7 feet is lights out for yeah, and Kobe. Like they would annihilate them. And it still even be a game, even them being that tall. So I would have my money on Michael and Kobe, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it would be fairly, if they played to 21, I think Mike and Kobe will win 21 to like 12. And that's even if they were doing
That's
not make it take it, like the opposite of make it take it. Like I think if they were doing like if you score, other team gets the ball, I think it would be like 21 to 19, 21 to 12.
I will say in that KD is more fit for that game than LeBron. KD is more of an assassin than LeBron.
That's what I'm getting at. Like KD, he'll look at this and be like, oh snap, like let me drop Mike real quick. Because Kobe would take Bron. You already know Kobe taking Bron. Yeah, like Kobe gonna mess Bron up. Bron gonna have some nice drives. He'll have some points, but Kobe gonna tear that matchup up.
Yeah, you gonna like that.
So yeah, okay. I'm with you though. I don't think that LeBron and KD will win. I would definitely put my money on Mike and Kobe. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't even be a question actually. How much you trying to bet? 100. There you go. And
possibly life saving since I can double it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to think of like that's what we got to come up with. We might have to do like a segment where we do like 2v2s or something like that, and like just have like brackets or something like that. That'd be kind of nice.
You know they had Julius Randle or Chris Bosh name the other day,
and they had him trending.
Yeah, I thought that was disrespectful. Julius Randle or Chris Bosh, which one are you picking?
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, I'm taking Chris Bosh, but Julius is on the up. He's on the upside of his arc right now.
I'm not buying Julius.
No, you think it's just like Knicks is no other option? Like, of course he should take off or what?
Yeah, because okay, he's a free agent out this year. More likely he's going to be signed. Let's say he doesn't. Where do you see Julius Randle going and having a comparable year as far as being an impact player?
I could see Denver. I think he would be a nice addition to Denver.
Okay.
I could even see the Heat. I think them being like a young team, I think he would fit in very well with the Heat.
Okay.
I could see Charlotte. It's a couple of teams that I could see, but I get what you're saying though. Yeah. Like kind of not being so like he's a real interesting player because he's undersized for that plays the paint, but can also like step out and shoot the three. But you also don't know like really what he is. Like
his points it doesn't translate. His stats don't translate. Like you see, he got 25-15, but it's like that looked like 17 and 9. Like it didn't look 25-15, So it's like I don't.
Yeah. That's disrespectful for him to be training with Chris Bosh though. Because we know what Chris Bosh is. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Okay, hold on. I got one more for you. Mm-hmm. LeBron or no? Yeah, no. Hold on. KG and no, never mind. I'm gonna write him out.
Okay, I got one for you. KG and Kobe versus Dirk and LeBron.
Ooh, ooh. I still gotta go KG Kobe. As
Yeah,
much as I love Dirk.
that's tenacity. That's all that is.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just grit, like pure grit. Like that'd be a lot for LeBron and Dirk. Even though Dirk wasn't a chump. Like Dirk could take the smack talk and hit a couple threes in your face.
Late in his career, he definitely could.
Yeah. So primes, all those I gotta take Kobe and KG. As hard as it is, because I do love Dirk, but I'm just imagining if Bron ever had the opportunity to play with Dirk Nowitzki, how nasty that would be.
Nasty, 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 nasty.
Yo, oh man, that's like that's LeBron's ideal teammate, like Dirk Nowitzki
Or Steph. They were having a
or
good
Steph
all-star
or
game.
Steph.
That
Yeah,
would be disgusting.
yeah. I do wish I could have seen LeBron play with like somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have enjoyed to see that. But like I said, LeBron, Miami Heat, still the greatest LeBron that there is, in my opinion. That was his time. But yeah, Kobe messing LeBron up in any type of black top setting. Kobe giving it to Bron.
That boy crazy. That boy totally crazy, boy. He different level with it.
On blacktop, oh man, you thought the court was crazy. Wait till you get on blacktop.
Elbows to the face, all types of shit.
I'm not. Were you ready for Kobe to lock you to first team defense? You on a blacktop, my G?
Yeah, I don't think I would even want to play against Kobe if I was a basketball player. Honestly, I would have.
Nah.
To, I'm not down for that. I'm not down for that.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be annoying. Like
Yeah.
it would be annoying. Like, bro, I just had my hand in your face on the ball. Like, how you still hit that? You still took that, matter of fact?
Embarrassing. My family can't watch the game. They can't be there.
Nah. Yeah, your fam can't watch you play against Kobe. Not that night. You got to tell them you're not playing tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I'll let you
Yeah.
Well, should we
Don't watch that.
we get into
Oh man, don't let the Lakers be down by like 7 and you got to guard Kobe in fourth quarter.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get into the retro shit. What type of retro topic you want to tackle? Jersey, playoff series, or player?
Player.
All right.
Hit the player.
Favorite retro player.
I'm
gonna go with.
Yeah, you hit it out first.
I'm trying to choose a shocker. Steve Francis.
Ooh.
He don't get enough respect.
Okay. He don't get respect.
Mm-hmm.
Steve was nasty though.
One of the first athletic point guards. One of the first.
He was with the likes of Penny and stuff, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I like that. Steve Francis. He doesn't get enough. His name doesn't get tossed around enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with I just had Joe Johnson.
Ooh.
I think Joe Johnson was he was so low key that you didn't really hear about him too much when he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's on the Hawks though, Joe Johnson was a problem. Like people coming into the building knew what Joe Johnson was about that night.
That's yeah. He called so many ISO plays, and it was just nasty. Like it just real quick and shoot it in your face.
Yeah, dude. Joe Johnson was nasty. Man, I miss Joe Johnson. I might watch a Joe Johnson highlight video today.
Got to.
That might go him.
That's
but yeah.
But shit, that has been another episode of Retro Jersey Podcast. Make sure you guys follow Instagram, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, so definitely subscribe. But we do, man, that 2v2s are coming out, and we gonna get the fan votes on those too. Yeah, 2v2. So in the comments, you gotta let us know because we definitely we gonna have a nice little bracket coming out. 2v2 tournament created by Retro Jersey Podcast, and we gonna go from there.
Yeah, we definitely gotta get that working. I like that for sure.
Yeah.
But shit, until next time, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.